I went to the cemetery to see where the truth was buried. I thought that truth had faked his death, so I was worried if he was that coward. And I wrote this letter to put on his graveyards so that truth someday could read it and feel good about the world he left behind. Sorry, truth. I know we already took your life softly by strangling you with a bed of corruption and frown plus lies as a chair you used to sit on every evening, and it is the same chair you last stepped on while getting served by this public lynching cruelly. But sadly, even your sons and daughters are now getting to the same destination because I'm not seeing them having peace. I see more pieces of betrayal ropes being pulled in their necks every morning are passed by the legal courtrooms. There were times in history when news were meant to be news by our generation today. Some newspapers are paid to accuse and excuse a group of people who are putting darkness in places where truth would have seated to save the world from these flooded wind waves of miscommunication and misdirection. There were times in history when educational institutions taught students with reflections towards the real world. They taught with real-life examples without indoctrinating students with complete blindness. But now, some of our educational institutions have a convincing tongue to go for a course they very well know that it's worthless and worth it will be thrown away like a used-up Savian. But students today have to suffer because some of these institutions have their financial goals over the educational goals of the world youth. There was a time not too long ago when businessmen were there to mean business, but some businessmen now, they keep lies and truth indistinctively attached in the same envelope, and then document inks rub against each other to the extent that they no longer differ in order to make business deals smoother than ever before. That's how lies replace truth. It is the same place where some CEOs are more likely to promise great lies in business meetings to earn great excuses from employees. If really lies and persuasive paychecks can keep corporations with employees that won't quit, there must be something wrong if truth and inspiration is cut out of this equation. And don't forget this, counterfeits are more profitable and more important to businessmen than counter economics and transparent accountancy combined. There was a time in history when doctors could tell the truth about the patients, but some doctors now, they give you more time on a sickbed to make more money out of these long wait tragedies, and nevertheless we feel obligated to say thanks to them in the end of all these heartless dramas. They always let truth be thrown away through the windows of the hospital like used up injections. Doctors used to prescribe the right medication, but some doctors today only market that one with a bigger profit margin, and as if that's not enough, if doctors' duties stand from keeping people healthy to treating them when they get sick, what do you expect? There were times when leaders made promises to make a change in a society, but now some leaders make promises to gain popularity in the campaigns, and it goes on growing from higher offices to lower offices until we both admit that it's all about promising. not all about fulfilling the promises, until we all admit that some leaders today only see votes instead of seeing fellow countrymen and fellow countrywomen standing in their audiences. There were times when courts of law were still courts of law, but now most of them are courts of lies, where lies onto the jury of the courtroom before the court gets hold on to one word, and before the world comes to witness them speak. There were times when the police could keep law and order by its authorities, back when police ethics were still under clean policies and policy combined. But now, some of them keep their fellow citizens low beyond borders of their authorities and misuse their authorities. And that's when their badges through the closed doors of human rights for the innocent people out there. Marriage was once a place to go and fulfill your lives with your partner together in love, for love, with love. It was once a place to plant a rose flower of love and keep watering it with trust and communication for each other. But now for some people, it's already the same rose flower left in the blank stares for it to dry up by hits of lies. At times it even becomes a place to spend some time with people when we aren't too busy, just to spend some time for the sake of spending some time without being thoughtful of how much we spend other people's time recklessly. No wonder we got many divorce cases at a rapid speed compared to our ancestors. We need some truth. I don't know any successful relationship out there not built on strong trust and communication. And I don't know the fastest killer of trust and communication like lies either. Religious leaders used to speak the truth about the society. They used to allow religious righteousness around their religious places and the religious people as well. But now, some religious leaders speak what they have been told to plan in a society by heartless politicians or even by their peers that have to get back to the same cause. And that cause is getting a huge number of followers and use their followership in the name of fellowships to their own advantages, starting from making money to making political trickeries and other dark personal benefits involved. Countries used to help their neighboring countries with love, compassion, and togetherness as the top standards for public relations. But most countries now only help their neighboring countries with a profit margin and resource found as the initial criteria for helping. In fact, we haven't and will not have a war between countries in the coming time without some vaselines of profit margins smeared onto the kickstart to the ragging of peace agreement papers and international public relations. And these outrageous and broken international public relations create wars swiftly. We need some truth from these people who profit from creating wars between countries and some transparency of the ones saying that they are helping out. Sorry that I can't even mention it all. The list is endless. Maybe I can mention an example or two, but there is a lot of lack of truth almost everywhere in the world. But with all of that, there is nothing wrong with the above specificities and positions, though there is something very wrong with the way we keep truth out of our vocabularies while practicing the services of these positions. Sorry that It has always been us against you. Nevertheless, in the first place, it was us getting help from you. Sorry that we failed to realize how your life was so important before you had to die that young and soon. Sorry that there weren't many tears from the eyes of the people holding your coffin. It was a lot of giggles and proud scoffings. Sorry that it was only lies spewed on your funeral as the allergies. Sorry that all the plans that we could have done to save your life were only thought and accepted when it's too late to let your breath stay on the move again, as late as now. Sorry that we didn't listen to your screams in the courtroom when your truthful dreams became nightmares. The times when the judge was not listening to understand you but only to trick you, step into legal snares legally. Sorry.